Was Bob Lazar interacting with the beings at Area 51 or S4? I did a video a few days ago about Bob Lazar and his possible interactions with MK Ultra. This is a theory proposed by Jacques Vallée in one of his books. I haven't read the book, but Jesse Mitchell talked about it a little bit in his interview with Jacques recently, although he did not ask Jacques any questions about that, unfortunately. I hope there's some follow-up questions about that. But yeah, so Jacques Vallée advanced this theory that Bob Lazar was a victim or what have you of MK Ultra, likely during his experience at S4. And I have some additional thoughts about that. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and comment below as I'm going through the story. That'd be awesome. You can also support the channel. Supporting the channel allows me to spend more time on these videos to make them as good as you deserve. You can do that by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below. Channel members receive exclusive access and videos. Or you can simply leave a tip in the tip jar with the super thanks feature below, right next to the like button. Oh, by the way, I'm a novelist. Jack Connor, ER, that's one of my books back there, The Atomic Sea. Actually, I think that's two of them. And you can go on Amazon and buy my books, and that will also be another way to support the channel. And you might even have a good time. Who knows? Okay, let's get on with the story. Like I say, this is a follow-up to a video I made a week or two ago about Bob Lazar and Jacques Vallée's theories on that. A really good interview with Jesse Mitchell. Unfortunately, again, did not ask Jacques any of these questions about Bob Lazar, which I think was in the thumbnail. He said he was going to talk about it. Yeah. Okay. Love Jesse, but that was dropping the ball there. Sorry. But yeah. So the idea is that if you're familiar with MK Ultra, this government brainwashing program where they did all these horrible experiments, and it was pretty bad. I mean, just really brutal, awful stuff that they did. They were disbanded. I mean, hopefully they were disbanded. As far as we know, they were disbanded by the time that Bob Lazar went to work at S4. If he did, I mean, obviously there's still some debate about that. But since everything he has said pretty much checks out, including the person that hired him finally being found, the hand scanner also finally being found, all these various corroborations that he was actually there and knew what was going on there, seems to indicate that he was really there. But that's outside the scope of this video. But what I want to talk about is beyond what Jacques Vallée was saying. Not what he was saying, what maybe a step beyond that. Jacques, attributes some of the interesting things that happened to Bob to MK Ultra. And specifically, we're talking about the pine-scented drink that Bob Lazar was made to drink prior to starting work. I think that was like a daily occurrence. Every time he started working there, he had to drink this drink. He was told it was to protect him. And he was also made to undergo hypnosis. Now, in a recovered memory that he had, I think years later, he was walking into a hotel room, and all of a sudden he had this recovered memory of being in this hospital at S4 where he was given this drink and possibly where he underwent hypnosis. And he remembered a being behind a curtain interacting with him telepathically. Jacques doesn't talk about that as far as I know. And that's not what his theory was about. His was more about the pine flavored drink and the hypnosis. And he believes that that is evidence that MK Ultra was alive and well and working at S4, or some of their teachings were alive and well anyway and working at S4. And maybe they brainwashed Bob into thinking he was reverse engineering alien technology to somehow hoax the public or something. I'm not quite sure what the logic on that would be. I don't think that makes any sense. There's no logic for that. That's too convoluted for that to make any sense at all. So I hope the jock has a different reason in his book. At some point, I will have to read it and find out. If you have read that book and know precisely what Jacques was saying with that theory, please let me know. I don't want to misquote Jacques. But regardless, I can see no compelling rationale for, the Area 51 guys to brainwash Bob into thinking that he was reverse engineering alien technology. To me, that makes zero sense. But what does make sense, because according to my research, and I've talked about this numerous times, there seems to be interaction with the beings at Area 51. Yes, indeed. I know for some people that will be crazy and that will be woo-woo, but I refer you to the Terry Lovelace story. Now, Terry Lovelace is a veteran, and he has been vetted by Lou Elizondo, and a very credible guy, and he's an experiencer, and he talks about seeing upwards of 50 military guys aboard a giant UFO. And there are countless experiencer accounts where abductees or contactees are taken by the beings, and they see the military and government officials interacting with the beings. And there are countless such accounts. To me, that all rings true, and my research has convinced me that some faction, Richard Dolan calls it the breakaway civilization. So just call it the breakaway civilization or the breakaway group. Sometimes I like to make it a little less fantastic and just call it the breakaway group. Well, let's just, from my research, I'm convinced that the breakaway group exists, and it is seated at Area 51, or at least that's one of its main locations now or in the past. The other locations are Wright-Patterson, but there's plenty of other locations. Lance Corporal Wygant places one base in South America, and there possibly are others. And so if the government is working with the beings at Area 51 and Bob Lazar was working with alien technology, they were giving him a weird drink, making him undergo hypnosis. He remembers, or thinks he remembers, interacting with a being on the other side of a curtain that was communicating with him telepathically. All of those things add up to me to where he has experiences that he does not recall. That they hypnotized him, they gave him a weird drink. Maybe that would make it easier for him to forget or to be mind wiped. If you have studied alien abductions at all, you know that the beings mind wipe their abductees almost universally. Occasionally, you'll get a fully conscious experiencer like Dolly, who Preston Dennett wrote a book about and has interviewed many times, but almost always they have had their memories completely wiped. That is just standard. You interact with the beings, you have your mind wipe. Now, maybe at a certain level within the breakaway group, that is no longer true. You would think that you would need continuity of memory and consciousness to have an ongoing relationship with the beings and interactions with the beings. But somebody that they're bringing in from outside to do something probably does not fall under that purview. So they would probably it would probably be necessary to wipe their minds if indeed they were dealing with the beings. Now, about the ship he was working on. I kind of almost agree with the Jacques Vallée in the sense that maybe he was not reverse engineering alien technology, because if he was dealing with the beings, they had the technology. They didn't need to assist humans in reverse engineering alien technology. Unless it was possibly from a different race, you could say. and they were allowing humans to replicate or reverse engineer the technology of a particular race, but not others. You know, all guesses, all speculation. You know, there's a scenario there where you could say that it makes sense, and you know, who knows? Maybe that's the case. But there's also a scenario where you could say that Bob Lazar was not working on reverse engineering alien technology. That they had him doing something completely different. You know, God knows what that is. You know, could be some secret space program stuff. I don't know. But then they wiped his mind and gave him a placeholder memory of reverse engineering and working on the sport model U.F.O. that he is famous for working on. But what if he never worked on it? What if that was a placeholder memory? That's kind of where my mind is going right now. But what do you think about my crazy theory? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access in videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.